How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Top Sonics coming at you with another deck box review, but as well as kind of a binder review today. So today I'm going to be going over some of the products from they're called Card-Dict, but it's the way that they spell it is like a forward slash CARD dash DICT like dictionary. And you can have a lot of their stuff says their logo kind of front and center, so just to have that up there. This video isn't sponsored by them or anything. I just when I always review something, I always like to say the company that it is because you know more likely than not, I want to be able to give an honest opinion about stuff. So I always like to be transparent. So today we're going to be reviewing some of their stuff. And so just to go over some of their products, specifically the ones that I have their ones that are based off the Pokemon line. So they have a set of four binders, and deck boxes and playmats that are based off of the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire set of Pokemon games. So they call this one Omega Red, Alpha Blue, and so on and so forth. So obviously based off Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, and then the purple one is just a generic one. They don't have this one kind of based on anything. So we're just gonna kind of go over some of the stuff. I'll show off the binders, then we'll get to the deck box, and then I'll give a final review at the end of everything. So getting right into the binder one, I will say for full transparency, all four of the binders that I had received, I got from specifically Amazon Vine. Now, Amazon Vine is a service that Amazon provides where if you do reviews for certain products, you can request them in order to do these reviews. And I ordered this a little over a year. I've ordered all four of them a little over a year ago at this point now. So it's been, I've had them for a minute, and I will say I do no longer have the green one. The Rayquaza version of the binder. I think it's the Omega Alpha and the Delta. The Delta version, the Delta Green, I do not have anymore because it arrived damaged. Uh, like it had a bunch, like it looked like an animal had actually attacked it, basically. When I got it. All three of the other ones came just perfectly fine. It was just the Delta Green one. I do, however, have the Delta Green deck box, so I can still show off some of the design for it. But I don't have that one. As also, pretty much all of them are functionally the same binder on the inside. I wanted to just show off the blue one because it's easiest to see in my camera setup, as well as I frankly just really like this design. I would have shown the Delta one if I had it, if I still had it, because it is my favorite design out of the three, but I digress. So to get right into it, it has this elastic band. The elastic bands are always usually just a darker color version of the actual binder itself, which I do frankly enjoy. It does make it look pretty nice. And then the inside are these they're the black kind of like monster binder pages, and they are built into the actual binder itself. There is no like rings or anything like that. Um, So if you get to the halfway point, you can see it is inlet like most binders these days are when it comes to this kind of stuff. I do apologize about the glare. The binders do tend to get a glare off my lighting. So the actual like construction of the binder though is sort of akin to like normal cardboard binders that are just kind of wrapped in like the plastic. So while this is sort of built like a deck box where this blue is clearly a different piece of material than this black, and like they're kind of just fused together. And it does seem like there is a bit of cushion in the front of this, so it is like a cushioned uh sort of, I don't want to say springy because it's not really springy, but it does feel like there is a softer material on the inside. So it is in a sense that kind of level of protection, but at the same time it is still at the end of the day like a bendable cardboard and it's pretty rigid. Unlike something like an Ultra Pro binder or like a Monster binder. uh, or like those old regional binders that you used to get. It is pretty rigid, and I'm not a huge fan of rigid binders like this, mostly because unless they're very big binders, mostly because these get damaged pretty easily. The ends and corners tend to get damaged. I thankfully have avoided that with my binders, but then again, these aren't the binders uh that I take with me to places. So the pages are pretty okay. You can flip through them pretty well without cards falling out. Like some cards will start to dislodge a bit like that, but they usually don't get to the point of them falling out. Unless you've gone through the pages many times. This is my link and fusion binder for just random link staples and such. So it's not anything special. It's just trying to show off the material and how you can flip through it. So I think that this is fine. This claims to hold 900 cards. Um, I have not done that math yet, so okay. And I had my doubts that this held 900 cards to begin with, but at the same time, I wanted to just go through, double count that real quick. So if each side of so these are 9-page binders. Each side holds 9, so 2 times 9 is 18. This is 10 pages, so half the book is 10. So that's 180 times 2 is 360. This holds 360 cards, technically individually. I guess if you tripled up each card on the inside, it would hold over 900. But um, realistically, this binder holds 360 cards, or spots for it, and I don't believe their listings have any types of binders that have like refillable pages. These are all like pre-built ones or put together ones. So the 900, yeah, holds 900 cards is a bit of a stretch, and that, mind you, this is their Amazon listing that I'm reading off of. Um and the same one that I got that I would have looked at when looking at Amazon Vine for it. So, I do love the gold stamping. I think like design wise, this is really cool. But overall, I don't think that this binder is like the go to for me. Though to be fair, I will say this is a relatively cheap binder. So at the same time, while the quality isn't as high, it isn't super high. It looks really good, and at the same time that it looks really good, it's about $17 USD for it. But the prices do vary wildly. Sometimes they have these listed for like 30. Sometimes they have these listed for like 16.99. So it's very hit or miss, and like it's not always clear which color that you're gonna get. They had sent me the wrong color once. I had to return it. So not only did they send me a damaged one once, but they also sent me the wrong color at a point. So I had to return it. And then when I returned the green one, I had to fight to get a full refund because the second green one they sent me, I never got. So I had to, and maybe that's like an issue with Amazon's department, not the actual brand. But it's the only thing that they're the only brand I've had the problem with, so it's a little tedious. But getting into the deck box, so we can start that review. So this is the Card-Dict Delta Green deck box. I absolutely do like the style of it. It is a little thick though. If you are using some of the Chinese sized ones for the deck boxes, this will fit in those little or those big boxes that fit like 4 different deck boxes in it and such. I don't know about like the long line ones. I don't know if it fits in that. I know this fits in like the quadruple compartment ones. Okay. Well, I have one of them, but it's in storage. I might do a review on those at some point. If you want to see a review on those, let me know. Um, but having this inside there, it has to sit like this. So, and you can't get your fingers in like this or like this to get it out. So you have to kind of like shimmy it out by the actual like lid, which is not a good idea in my opinion. So I don't tend to use those for obvious reasons. So all have the little symbol on the top of the deck box for their for whichever one it is. This one has the delta, so it's the triangle. The design is again very reminiscent of Rayquaza. It's that gold inlet kind of design. Um, but and like if this isn't it rubbing off, this is the actual design. So the actual design is made to look like it's being rubbed off, and you can see that like on their website, um, and such, or on the listings and such. So the idea is that it's supposed to look old, and that's the idea of it. That's why like the same bit it looks like it's rubbed off here as the other side. It's the same. It's the same design. And then it has this little design with the Card-Dict logo on it. So I will again hold that up here to kind of get that nice shimmer onto the design. Because again, I do really like this design. I like the color. I like the green color that they use. It's a very good green. I love the gold inlet. It's very like it's this. This is very tough aesthetic. So like for this deck box, I very much do like it. I use it for just holding some extra random cards. Like I think I have my hero cards in here, or just a couple of my extra hero cards. And I think I have yeah. So I just have some random cards in here actually at the moment. So yeah, some Mahama stuff. Veilers and Ghost Mourners. I don't know why they're in here. So Buster Blader and a barrier statue. Awkward. But so they have a green or sorry, they have a gray interior. With the logo again kind of embossed in there. It's a little hard to see until you get the right lighting for it, but still pretty good. And it's that nice kind of suede color to it. So the outside is that kind of like poo leather or PU leather, while the inside is also you also have it here. So like they do have that detail in there. Um, so like it does have that like kind of nice like suede feel to it, and like it's even on the inside here again. uh and I harp on this like every time I do it, similarly to last week's deck box review. This The inside of this still feels better than the Imperium Duelist one. um Again, I don't know why. Every time that I kind of feel like that's just the lowest that I've had a score for like the inside of a deck box. So it's a very simple deck box. It's a very small deck box. It doesn't hold that many cards. They claim that it holds, let's see, 150 sleeved cards. You probably could get 150 sleeved cards in here. Um, you're more likely to get 150 unsleeved cards in, and then get and still be able to get it out. But at the same time, I think that's fine. For the price of this, though, again, these tend to go for pretty cheap, but at the same time, um, they don't. Like it's again, it's completely up to the Amazon listing, and they change the Amazon listing price constantly. So it's one of those other things where I'm gonna have a low score on the price, and I'm probably gonna hit it again. Um, even though even like before review, just because of it. So yeah. But let's go right into the scoring and get this video done with, shall we? So for the final segment where I give the score, I'm going to have just the deck box here, mostly because just to save on desk space and just to get through a little quicker. So for the price, I think this is the first 1 out of 5 that I can give for price. I've given a 1 out of 5, I think, for time when I was talking about Matamoon because it took over a year to get the product. Um, but this product definitely deserves the 1 out of 5 price. For price because when you change, sorry about that, neighbors. So neighbors brought the motorcycle out and it got very loud, so I had to do a little cut there. Um, so the price of this, with how much it jumps, absolutely deserves a 1 out of 5. Going from what is essentially like a $16 or less deck box to them being 24.99 per deck box now is absolutely absurd to me. I like while they will be linked in the description below, or at least like their storefront will be linked in the description below, from Amazon. I absolutely do not endorse the prices of their products, and as such, have kind of shown that in the I'm trying to show that I'm trying to show that in my scoring here. Sorry. Likewise with the binders. So I'm going to be covering most of the stuff with the binders here. When your binders are listed as cheaper than your deck boxes, it's kind of wild. But like it's also just kind of shows what they used to be versus what they were. So before the deck boxes used to be a pretty cheap, like I think it was like 12, $14, and their binders used to be 16.99 each. Now the binders are listed as 29.99, and you can still find the red one listed for 16.99. With Prime with free Prime shipping if you have Prime. But then if you try to get any of the other colors like green or blue, they will be 29.99, as well as the deck box. The only one that seems to be available currently is the blue one for 24.99. Um, or the alpha blue one. So, and then it shows that the purple one's available, but every time that I click on it, it doesn't actually come up. But it's also said that its listing is 24.99. So it's very disingenuous. It's very, like, in my opinion, it's a little scummy. I don't like when similarly to when smart cards did it. I very much disagree with the idea, especially of upping your price of stuff unless there's a big reason to. Um, like a really big reason to, like you have a ton of stock and you can't sell it. But even then, you don't raise the price to try to do that. You lower the price. So it just seems like it's a really awkward, poor decision in my opinion. But at the end of the day, they did it, and yeah. Uh, so moving on from price, because I can stammer over this constantly. Detail. They get about a 3 out of 5, which isn't amazing, but it's not terrible. A 3 out of 5 shows that they have some level of quality that they tend that is consistent over their items, while also having some definite issues. So while this would have been a higher score if I didn't get damaged products and things like that, and whether that being like an Amazon problem or something, is sort of yet to be discovered. But also, like, just some of the items I got were wrong. One of them was damaged when I tried to get the actual item like replaced. It wasn't just when I tried to get the item replaced, it wasn't Amazon's fault that I couldn't get it replaced. At that point, it was the company's, because they refused to replace it. At that point, they just gave me the refund. That was an Amazon issue. And then at the same time, I do like I like their attention to detail and like the aesthetics and stuff. But at the same time, like, um, there are some things that are a little bit wrong. Like I didn't like the hardcover. I didn't like how every binder was like that hardcover, um, kind of plastic or kind of cardboard with like a little bit of what's the word, cushion. Sorry. And like overall, I just think it would have been better if we had some better attention to detail. But like I'm pretty sure this is a company that makes them in China and then ships them, so I'm not entirely sure what we would be expecting here. For time, I have 4 to 5, and it's because a lot of these have lasted me a bit. Uh, this was the only deck box that I was able to get, and it's lasted me. And personally, the three binders that I do have lasted me, though I don't go anywhere with them really. They stay here on my shelf. And I go through them for staples and stuff once in a while, but like nothing too, nothing too exciting. So like I don't really have a chance to ever stress test them. Um, Meanwhile, I think that the time frame, they're while they're not the best, I can definitely see these probably breaking or falling apart when you have them. The materials aren't always the best, and frankly, from just using this one over time, opening this green bit here has started to separate from the gray a little bit, but overall, Overall, it's still pretty good. And then for the shipping, it's if you have Prime, it's a 2 day shipping, so it's not too bad. It's for 2 day. I don't know what it would be without Prime, and many other listings are listed without it, so I can't guarantee any of that kind of stuff. And then for the top score, it gets a 3 out of 5. While I absolutely do adore the aesthetics, the overall create like what the overall kind of feel for it, they are a very faux leather design with some suede inlets. Like that's nice. The green one is an absolute like dream for what I like. But overall, I think that the Pokemon copy, basically the copying the Pokemon design, was a really cool idea, and I think it was done pretty well. But for a company to do the things that they do with it like this, I don't necessarily agree with it, and I don't really like it overall. So the company is kind of making the scores take a hit here. But overall, I think that's because it makes the overall score harder to diagnose when it comes to this, when you have a company that has basically run me the wrong way, and in this sort of way, right? Like I gotten the wrong thing, I gotten damaged stuff, and then like overall like the price changes, and it seems really awkward. And I think that like if judging the company versus their products is important. But I think for this level of stuff, their company choices do impact the quality of the products, I believe. So I definitely so I'll like a 3 out of 5 I think is good for like the aesthetics side of it, but overall from the company and everything, I think a top score of 3 out of 5 is warranted. So at the end of the day, what this means is they got a 11 out of 20, which is probably or not probably, it is the lowest score that I've ever given, which is slightly, it's a 55, um, a 55 out of 100. This is where I think it gets bad. So a 55 out of 100 is definitely, I think, in my opinion, a really bad score. When you are starting to lose too many details, when you have one really bad score and the rest aren't withstanding very well, I think it's pretty. It starts to look really bad for you. So overall, I think Card-Dict has a really cool idea here, and I think that they could definitely stand to fix themselves up, and I think they could become something actually pretty good. Right now, as it stands, they have playmats. I haven't tested any of their playmats. I haven't ordered any of it. They're all rubber playmats from what I can tell. They're 13.5 by 24 inches. So they're about the right size to be Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic playmats for single player playmats anyway, and they have the same designs of the red, blue, green, purple, and they have the same Pokemon designs on them. Last I checked, uh, they I think the playmats are about $20. And they were cheaper before. I do remember them being about 14.99 before. So again, uh, more price changes. And then I know they also do some other they do some other products. I think they're like the magnetic holders, which they sell I think in packs of 20, and I think they do just straight up top loaders as well. So I haven't tested any of that stuff. I probably will in the future try some of their stuff, but overall, um their products haven't screamed top quality to me. And while I definitely like their designs, I don't know. Uh, at the end of the day, I don't think I'll be buying any more Card-Dict stuff, but I am glad that I have some of it and been able to review it for you guys. So to finish up the video, if you guys like what you see, please leave a like. If you guys want to see more of this, feel free to subscribe. I do. I'm going to try to be doing reviews like this every week. I've been doing them for the last few weeks on Fridays, so I'm going to be trying to follow this up some more. And if you, I've been trying to add some other deck boxes to my repertoire. I'll hopefully have some more gem tech stuff coming up soon, as well as possibly some more of these Chinese ones. I'm pretty sure that this is a company from a Chinese seller anyway. Um, and yeah, I have some. I actually have like an AliExpress deck that I can show off for next week and give a. It'll be a short, like that one will be a super short review, but yeah. At the end of the at the end of the day, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for supporting me. If you like what you see, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you and peace.